Hey everybody, I hope you had a wonderful week. I know I did, like, it could have been better, but who am I to complain? Anyways, I'm sorry about the no makeup thing, but it's like 11 o'clock at night, and I'm not about to put on makeup that I have to take right back off. Um, so, I know I could have done this video earlier too, but I had a bunch of phone calls and like a bunch of people wanting to talk to me today. Anyways, has because the hair's messed up too. So yeah. See, I still have hair. I'm not going bald. Anyways, I actually did notes this time. Aren't you guys proud? Anyway, so like the first thing I want to talk about is Olive Ann Burns. Like I didn't recently discover this author. I read her first ever book in high school, Cold Sassy Tree. But I've actually recently done, I guess I couldn't say research on her. I've been reading Leaving Cold Sassy, and I didn't find out until just recently that that's an unfinished novel. She died before she could finish this novel. And it's just like mind-blowing that she spent the last bit of her life to make sure that this book got out for her fans. And she went through so much, like, this is a phenomenal woman. Like, I'm impressed by her. I can't say much more. She didn't even care to be famous or anything like that, and she was so kind-hearted, and she was so positive no matter what. She was going through chemotherapy because she had cancer. At the end, she had congestive heart failure, and she looked at it so positively, and it's just, you know, it kind of makes you think when you start getting negative, you know. This woman was battling with cancer, and she took time to answer mail, write long letters. Everybody should research her because, like, I'm not giving her the justice she deserves. I'm really not. Anyways, so I've had some Kindle issues again. The first time I had Kindle issues, because I didn't really talk about it, was it just stopped working. Like, it kept freezing up, and then it would reset itself, freeze up again, like sometimes in the middle of the reset. So I called, and they're like, oh yeah, you're like 2 days out of warranty. I was like, yeah, that figures. And one guy was like, you know, I'm going to just try to get you an extension warranty, but I want you to try to charge your Kindle, and I'll call you back in like 30 minutes. And I was like, okay, this dude's going to like just call me back and be like, oh, that didn't work. Okay, well, there's nothing I can do. You know, that was exactly my mindset. So I let it charge, and he calls me back. Okay, granted, it was later than 30 minutes, but, you know, they're busy. I'm not going to expect an immediate call back or anything. He goes, I've been looking around, and I definitely got you an extension on the warranty, and I'm having you a new Kindle sent out in 2 days, free of charge. Check your email. You'll have a printing label out to return your other Kindle. And I was just like, wow, this is impressive. Like, I've never had customer service that great, and it made me, you know, glad that my e-reader choice was a Kindle. So just a thought process for you guys. And he didn't even, you know, ask if it was working after that. He just went out of his way to make sure I got my extension. Anyway, so it's been about a month since I had the new Kindle, and I can't show you guys because I already shipped it back, but just like those lines that you get in a TV when it's messed up or you're on a bad channel or something, that happened to my Kindle, but it's frozen that way. I couldn't reset it or anything. And like this time, instead of calling Amazon, I got online support because I really didn't feel like going through the automated system or whatnot. So I talked to the dude, and I explained the problem. He told me to, you know, try to plug it in and do a hard reset. I did that, and I was like, it's not working, and I don't know what's the problem. And he goes, you have a defective Kindle. And like, okay, this is where I have to be a smartass, because like, I know he was just trying to help me out, but I was just like, I didn't say anything to him about it, but I was just like, no, really? Like, what would give you that idea? Like, it's just not working. Whatever. But, you know, he was helpful, and I got a third Kindle, and I'm telling you this, and it's not anything against Kindle, but I swear if this Kindle like flips out on me or just stops working, I am going to just like, continue using Kindle for PC and Kindle for Android and not bother with another Kindle, because it just seems like I don't have luck with Kindles. Anyways, that concludes that, I guess. I want to talk about Lyrics. Like, everybody knows it's a band. I use Rhapsody, and they only had one CD, and that was the latest CD, which I found out that the name for the latest CD, Tiger Lily, was actually their original band name, which was pretty cool. But anyways, so I go and get the first CD of theirs on eBay for like $5, I think it was. Anyways, I go to try to get the second CD, and like these jokers wanted like $90. It's like, it's used, it's scratched, and it barely plays, and you want $90 for it? What the heck is your deal? Like, what are you smoking? Anyway, so I've been bringing this up, and I think it needs to be addressed. My thoughts on marriage. Yes, I'm all for legal marriage. But I believe, if two people are married in their hearts, then they're married. And people shouldn't say that they're sinning or doing other things. Because I think, I can't be exact, but I believe somewhere in the Bible it says, if you're married in your heart, then you're married in God's eyes. Well, whatever. Last topic I want to talk about today, I was going to talk about friendship, but I was too vague on that, and I don't know what I want to talk about. Anyways, so I want to talk about something that's been on my mind, and it seems like nobody knows me well enough, so you're going to hear about all of the things that people do that annoy me. Alright, so people who don't take no for an answer annoy me. I mean, like, okay, I can't stress enough, like, it's anything. I'm not just talking about one thing, but my example is going to be about this thing. Like, when somebody wants to date or, bang you, and, like, you're like, no, and they're like, no, come on, please. You're not even giving me a shot. And it's like, I said no. I mean, obviously, I have a good enough reasoning for saying no. I mean, it's probably not because you're a bad person, because you're probably an awesome person, but I'm saying no. So, respect that. Okay, another thing is people who don't follow a conversation. Like, okay, somebody was like, you must be busy, and I was like, yeah, I said this earlier, and they're like, said what earlier? And it's like, hello? You just said I must be busy, and I said, yeah, I said that earlier. I mean, what do you think I'm talking about? Jeopardy? Wheel of Fortune? No, I'm talking about that I'm busy. Duh. Alright, it is just like, and that's a text message. You could easily scroll back through the conversations and be like, oh yeah, that's what they're talking about. I mean, it takes 2 seconds. Why look stupid when you could just, yeah. Anyways, people who can't hold a conversation, like, I know I've said this every now and then, but I'm serious. I hate convo enders. And I'm not talking about every now and then, like, oh, I'm going to the store. Oh, okay, that's fine. But when you're like, yeah, I had a really bad day. Oh, okay. I wish I had somebody to talk to. Oh, okay. I mean, it gets annoying when somebody says it 24/7. Like, you just want to quit talking to them altogether, because, why bother? They're not or they don't do anything to add to the conversation. Why should you? I mean, if they can't hold their end of the conversation, why should you bother talking to them? Another thing, I don't like people who don't respect other people. Okay, and I'm not, okay, like, if somebody sent a message saying, oh, I like your tits, that's a private conversation between you two. Whatever, I mean, it's still disrespectful, but at least they respected you enough to say it privately. But, like, okay, yearbook's the worst part about it. Like, people will go anonymously, ask people, oh, can I fuck you? Oh, do you do blowjobs? Whatever. Like, Why would you ask that publicly? And why would you ask it anonymously? Obviously, if you're asking it anonymously, then, like, you know you have something to be ashamed of. Obviously, you shouldn't be asking the question you're asking. Yeah? And, like, you can't do anything about them because you don't know who they are, for one. For two, like, you shouldn't stoop to their level anyways. But, you know, it's disrespectful, and I wish people would just, you know, be like, where did you learn your manners? Would your mom like you asking people those questions? Anyways, and another thing that, like, annoys me is when people lie. And crazy things. Like, they tell off-the-wall stories. I mean, it's just like, hello? Why not just be honest? Because people who lie, I'll just say this right now. You're gonna get caught in your lie. Alright? Nobody can keep telling a lie consecutively and it be believable no matter what. They're eventually gonna, like, slip and say something and then, like, it's gonna get back to it. You know, it's just whatever. It's not worth lying. Alright, that concludes my blog. I can't think of anything else to talk about. I tried all day to come up with more topics, and considering this is already a hellaciously long video as it is, I'm sorry you guys had to put up with it, but thank you, and if you want to subscribe, you can. I'm not saying you have to, but totally would appreciate it. Comment any topics you want to talk about, or me to talk about next week. Alright, see you guys next week. Have a great week.